Hi everyone, welcome back. So let's continue our DevFest. Today, Mikhail Pautov is joining us. He will tell about his storybook, and I'm sharing your screen so you can tell a bit more about yourself and start your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Mikhail. I'm a freelancer from Kyrgyzstan, currently working as software engineer at Demon Corporation. Today, I would like to share with you a helpful tool Storybook. We'll show how to install and setting for React plus TypeScript project, and some candies for the tool. Okay, I can start? Okay, I got it. Okay, we got a quick overview. I will tell today about what is Storybook, how Storybook helps, and installing an example of using. Storybook is an open source tool for developing UI components in isolation for React, Vue, Angular, and more. It makes building stunning UI organized and efficient. I think Storybook has settings for 11 frameworks. Okay. Storybook first version was developed and released in 2016 by a startup called Kadira. Kadira was bootstrapped Sri Lanka startup. In 2017, started driven by the community. Airbnb, Slack, Lyft, Squarespace is starting to use Storybook in 2018, and then released another version of Storybook with new features in 2019 and 2020. Okay. While we developing our application, sometimes we got a problem. I would like to introduce to you that problem which I have while developing UI components. Component isolation. That means I can open only one component which I'm working on. Dependent server loses context when my component on third page from start or have some special settings. Long up build. I wait forever for the application to run to test one component. App reloads. By the way, if I need to go through 3 pages, then I would like to make changes and then again go through pages and check everything. It's really hard and spend time a lot. UI consistency. You see all list of components. You don't need to create it again. Basically, when new developer comes to our project and goes through list of components and see and touch it, and he can understand that so maybe it can be reused, maybe I can update it. And Storybook solves all that issue. It's very helpful to us. Okay. Let's begin. We need to install React boilerplate and eject configuration of that boilerplate. You can use that command for it. Okay. I would like to use import path for TypeScript. That base configuration that everything should work as expected. I did base path for CRC as DevFest. Time to install Storybook. Storybook is automatically install everything by your application environment by that command. It's very helpful. Okay, let's switch to IDEA. Okay, give me a second. I will change IDEA to code editor. Give me a second. Okay. Give me time. Okay. Right now, I will switch to IDEA and show you magic of Storybook. As you can see, Storybook has created .storybook folder with 2 files, main.js and preview.js. Let's look inside main.js. Main.js is setting for Storybook. Stories is regex for parsing component, which will be in our storybook. To add-ons, we'll come back later. Or I can just give you a quick review. If you would like to add some visual stuff for Storybook page, you can install from base Storybook add-ons or create by your own. Okay. For now, we need to rewrite Webpack for Storybook by adding some code for import pass. I will switch to branch which already exists, and everything we need because I don't want to spend time to coding right now. Yeah. I open main.js. As you can see, we added Webpack final property, which is implemented as a function. As you can see, we rewrite our config for Webpack to adding new alias, DevFest, by src, and just returning config. Okay, and yeah, that's basically all what we need for our import pass for TypeScript. Okay, let's open in app.ps6. I changed our structure of application and I know make it everything comfortable for me for using. Okay, I removed everything for app.ts6 and added centralized DevFest 2020 title for just for checking how it works. Okay, I run Storybook by command yarn run Storybook. And right now I need to switch to the browser. Give me a second. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you will see, okay, and you will see Storybook, how it looks like. On the left of the app, list of our components. If you add more components, you will see all of the list. We can select and search that component if we need. So, for example, when we add some more components, it actually will work. Okay. And if you need to add some documentation for component, we have a docs tab. In that, oh, what is going on? Sorry. Give me a second. Okay, I don't know what's happened. Basically, if you would like to add some component for, if you would like to add documentation for a component, you need to create .mdx file for your story. Add some documentation. You can go to the documentation of Storybook and see how it looks like and how it's settings. Okay, you can zoom in, zoom out, and some of the best feature I think. We can change our background for Storybook. We can add pixel screen. And what I really like, it's mobile view. We can change our component to mobile view. We can rotate it. And we can actually edit our own mobile viewports and very good configure it. I know it's very helpful for me. Okay, that's base information about Storybook. You can read more in Storybook documentation, but it's base intro for Storybook. Okay, let's switch to idea again. Okay. I will stop our Storybook, switch to shortcut time branch. Okay. Okay, and let's open button stories.ts6. Okay, basically I created button. I took base config. When when we install Storybook by command and pxsb init, it creates to us base example how to create stories and base component for it. I take base example, and now we will go through it. First, we need to import component which we want to show. It's button and button props. Button props its interface for our arguments. And then create base setting of that component by export default. Storybook automatically takes it. We will add title. If you would like to create folder, you can use slash for that. In component field, we put our button and base archetypes which we want to use in our component. Creating main template as constructor with our buttons and arguments. And you can see how using. We add primary args, is primary to or not, and labels. Okay, let's switch again to browser. Sorry, I don't know how to do it very quickly, but I will try to do it fast. Okay. Give me a second. Storybook is running. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. As you can example folder and our button component list, you can see. Okay, when we open that button, it will go through all our templates which we created. No, not templates, it's variant of components which we created. Primary, secondary, layer small, and everything. Okay, let's talk about this stuff. Actions tab tell us when we have events. Some example, I clicked and see, and I see on click events. That's basically when we have some another events in our application, in our components, this action will automatically show to us. Okay, let's switch to controls. Okay, and we have all properties which we prepared to our story, to our component for changes. Storybook takes it automatically, and we can able to working with it very well too in our Storybook. Let's try to do. Okay, I can change color. I can change Boolean value primary true or false. It will automatically change, but right now just change color of font or color of text. We can also change our text. Easier, fast, and we can change size of our icon or our button to small, large, maybe. It's super helpful to developing when you developing on big application when you can just open one component working with it. Okay, yeah, that's basically what I'd like to talk about the tabs. Okay, and let's switch back to idea. I will stop Storybook. then switch to forgot time. Okay. Okay. First thing when we're creating Storybook is how to set up base styles. I will show you how we do it. I installed styled components because I always use it. Then add some styles and fonts. I will show you that my base, global style, yeah. I import Roboto font and use color orange. Okay. Storybook has decorators globally and allow also wrap component which you want to some decorators. Let's create global decorator. Okay. It's I already created it, but yeah, and I will explain you how it works. Okay, I just create global this global style function, which have argument story fn. It's basically React.children if you're using React, but you need to run it. I mean, you can before implement some stuff which you want to wrap our component and then just run and just render our component. You need to run storyfn and run it as a function. Yeah, basically that's it. Then let's go to look and preview the JS. As you see, we have a base parameter. Okay. We see export cons decorators on 7 line, and we import our this global style, and then that global style will run to all our components. That means it's global decorators. Okay, I will run again Storybook, and while it's running, I will switch to browser again. Okay, Storybook is running. Yeah, it works. Our text is changed to Roboto font style and color to orange. Everything works fine. Yeah. Okay. Let's switch again to idea, and I will show you another features. Okay, we stop Storybook. 5 code 10 range. First thing, what about mock data for Storybook? I show you how to mock API with fetch mock model. Let's install fetch mock by command yarn add fetch. Basically, I prepared everything and all modules which I have, it's in package.json. I pass the link of the GitHub repository, and you can see everything and go to every branch. Basically, what I did, you can do by yourself. Okay, and go to file vismock result. Oh, sorry, which I created. Basically, I install fetch mock, imported fetch mock, and also create a function vismock result. which exist arguments mocks. Basically, it's result of request by URL. If we go to the mock response, you can see URL is a string, it's path of our request, and payload is result of that request. I go through the mocks, and by just base command of fetch mock, I mock it that URL and result. And if we don't want to, it's a little bit different with global style declaration. For global style, we're returning, we have argument story function, but Storybook is checks if our decorator is returning function. That means it's that means it's callback, and it will run later. But if it's returning not a call and not a function, it's just to render it. In the sense that it passes Storybook function. Yeah. And here we return a story function with our prepared mocket requests. I will run Storybook, and while it's running, I will show you how to setting everything out. Okay, I created post list component, which fetch API, and then setting to data, and I just show title and body of that information. Okay, how looks like that payload. Basically, it's have user ID, title, and body. Okay, and post list stories. We talk about how everything looks like. I just added new field for our base configuration, and our decorator with mocked result, and our mock, our prepared mock. Okay, let's look to the browser. And you will see all titles. Okay, for checking if everything works fine, I will open network, and you will see that no requests. Because it's really mocking and super cool. I mean, when I have really big application, you just pass it mocks, and if you would like to change some mobile cases and other stuff, it's really helpful for the living UI. Yeah. Okay. Let's switch to idea again. It's last feature I'd like to share with you. It's related to Redux. No, just if you have Redux application, if you have Redux in your application and like to mock some data. Okay. I will switch to 6 code time, and before everything started, I will install based modules. And yeah. Okay. I prepared base store for user with no initial params. You can see it's empty. Basically, we should run update user if we would like to update it, update our base state, and just base configuration of everything. Nothing interesting. Still installing, yeah. Okay. And of course, we need to create Decorator, which mock our Redux store. It's also very simple. I installed Redux mock store model, which do everything for us. And as we see, is similar with our global style decorator. Before running everything, we create initial state object, which we init all our stores for. No, I don't know. Everyone is implement his store different. But I just take quick example with user object and username value. Okay, and we create configuration store and added initial state and just render it. And yeah, that's all. Okay, let's look into browser. I believe that everything installed. Okay, right now I will switch. Okay. I added header component with our Redux store and take username from the user store. And basically when application will load, I will show you that header component. Yeah, that works. Everything works as expected. Okay. That basically, that's all of our for my presentation, and that's linked to. Sorry. Yeah, it's base. Yeah, that's linked to GitHub repository where you can take everything and play with it, and maybe copy and use for your project. Yeah. Sorry, begin.
Thank you very much, Mikhail, for presenting. I think it was really, really useful. And I have questions about what are the pros and cons for you personally about Storybook? What you found maybe challenging or disadvantages of the Storybook?
Okay. I think it's I think it's very helpful for big project. And when you you have a really long build for your application, or you have a lot of dependencies for running something, I think it's a really good feature. I mean, I don't know, it's a great feature to work with your company and not depending on everything. I don't know what is bad for Storybook, bad stuff for Storybook, because I setting whatever I want. I setting the Redux, I setting requests, I setting also React router stuff, but I can't. I don't know. I for now in my development process I can't find any cons.
Also, in terms of I saw you mock data, so can you in the end, if you want to connect, so it shouldn't be a problem, right?
Yeah. It doesn't depend to anything. I mean, your code didn't change. You just create stories and that's all. You don't need to change your code.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. And thank you for joining us and sharing your knowledge.